Hey girl, hey. I know I look crazy, don't I? Crazy cute. I still feel like, like I'm still cute. So what's up? What you doing? What's going on, girl? What is going on? All right, let's do a little quick reading here, okay? I need to calm my nerves a little bit. So let's just do it with a reading. Hey Coco, how you doing, girl? Okay. Let me just turn this down. You know what I mean? All this light coming towards me right now. I don't know if I need all that. Okay, first two cards. I'm okay, honey. Just trying to, you know how life be doing us sometimes, girl. Just dropping information on us at the very moment that we don't need it to be dropped on us, you know. So here we go. Dealing with that. So I am doing all right. And yourself. So moving forward, here we go. We've got Two of Pentacles and the Nine of Wands showing up here, okay? Two of Pentacles, Nine of Wands. Two of Pentacles is about kind of like having like a sense of balance, okay? And totally understand it, totally get it, totally vibe it. And I feel like this is with the Nine of Wands, it's like somebody is determined to regain or shift some balance in a specific way, okay? So that may be trying to hone in on something. With the Nine of Wands here also, sometimes the Nine of Wands can represent like standing your ground or, hey Brooke, long time no see, how you doing? We've also got the Six of Cups here, okay? So the Six of Cups is here with the Ten of Pentacles as well. And let's see kind of what this is all about. I'm here because I'm trying to calm my nerves, if I'm being honest with you guys. That's really why I'm here right now, okay? So just bear with me on the pauses, okay? Six of Pentacles is here with the Ten of Pentacles. Sorry, Six of Cups is here with the Ten of Pentacles. What is this about the past? Why is the past coming up? Like, why is the past in our face? What is it now? What does the past want now? Okay, is what I want to know. What do you want now? I will tell you guys. So recently, the other day, I made a video the other day, and I was talking about like a situation that's occurred. And you know, the thing about it is, I feel like there's a specific situation that I kind of dealt with in life that's kind of like multi-layered type of thing, right? It's like a multi-layered situation, circumstance, or whatever. But you know what I've come to, and I really come to this is like I don't like and I don't want to be the type of person that says bad things about people that I'm friends with or that I was friends with, right? And I think I feel like I said a couple of things in the other video that were true, but still, it's like if you're my friend, and even if we don't end up being friends anymore, like I don't want to be putting your business in the streets still. Like, you know? So that was kind of one of the reasons why I took that video down. So I'm gonna edit that video and then put that video back up, but I'm gonna take out certain little stuff just because like my I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be that type of person, you know? And it just didn't sit well with me. You know what I'm saying? So I had to say that real quick. Yeah, it just didn't sit well with me. You know what I'm saying? Because like even if I feel like there was some shady shit that went down, and I feel like you did some shady shit or whatever, like that's still between me and you. You know what I'm saying? So I just had to check myself on that because that's just not who I am. I don't like that shit. I don't like that type of stuff. It just doesn't feel right to me. So anyway, moving forward, but one of the things that I did want to kind of readdress though with that topic, because I've been saying that all things will be revealed. One of the other things that I want to say about that video from the other day is that there are multiple layers to some of the things that you guys might be getting answers about or receiving information about. Okay, so just be aware of that. There might be like, it might be like multi-layered levels of situations that are occurring with you. So just know that too. So sometimes that's one of the things that I'm kind of really discovering, especially as it relates to like magic and spell work. I've been learning that it's often layered. It's often layered like an onion. You know what I mean? Or layered like a cake, although onions got more layers than a cake, you know. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you guys really quickly. There are some other messages that I've been receiving over the last few days. Um, Mostly and mainly though, the messages that I've been getting that are like spiritually guided messages are really more so just we got to bring that focus back to the self always, right? And so that's what I've been kind of trying to do. And even today, like within the last hour or two, I am working something out right now in this moment as I'm speaking with you guys. I'm working something out of my system. And I was so blessed to receive a message to the effect of, to the effect of ultimately, when you focus on and get back to like focusing on yourself, most people want to consider that like, oh, that's selfish, right? But in reality, you got to focus on you because, like, for instance, you know how I always say things like, oh, it's easy to just sit in a chair in somebody's chair and point fingers and talk shit about somebody else, right? That's so easy. But do we look at ourselves in the mirror, right? And so that's one of the reasons why when I was just telling you guys a second ago, I took that video down that I did the other day because I'm gonna edit out the part where I, laid out some of my ex-friends' business because that's just not how I want to do life. Like I don't want to do life like that. You know what I mean? If other people are out there doing stuff like that, then fine, do you, boo. But that's just not how I want to operate, right? So that's me refining myself. That's me looking at something I did and something I felt and said. And it's me like, okay, no, that's not how we're going to behave. Like, we're not doing that. Like, we're just not doing that, right? And one of the things that I do notice a lot is that we have we always have this thing where we're so quick and easy to like try to check somebody else's behavior, right? But how often do you look at what you've done and what you've said and say, "Oh, you know what? I don't want to do that. Like, I need to adjust that behavior. Like that behavior right there. I need to fix that." Right? And it's funny that it came out like this right after I was sharing that kind of how I felt about something that went down with me. It wasn't intended to happen like that, but it just kind of came out and makes sense. You know what I mean? It kind of came out together and it makes sense together. But ultimately I was getting this message earlier today and it was talking about like focusing on the self. And this is something we've been like going over. It's like we talk about the same things over and over again and we say the same things over and over again because sometimes we forget or sometimes we like, we pop out of our healing stages and we go back to our toxic for a second and then we come back and realize, oh shit, I had a toxic mess moment, you know what I mean? So let me clean up my toxic mess moment again, But that's the thing that I heard as well today that I've been listening to and kind of like gathering information. And the information that I'm gathering is like, you need to know that your journey is not going to be no solid straight line. It's not going to do that. So if that's what you're expecting out of yourself, then you're going to be disappointed, right? Because ultimately, a healing journey or a journey in which we have to adjust ourselves or in which we have to elevate or grow, it's going to require you to like, what's going to happen is you're going to recognize that you've done something. You're going to try to like acknowledge that and then try to like not do those things. And then sometimes you might be in the right situation, in the right setting, with the right mindset, with the right people who got you fucked up on the right day. You know what I mean? And y'all know what I'm saying. Like, you got me fucked up on the right day at the right time. Here we go, And so then you may fall back into something. It's like a relapse. So this is one of the things like, and I want to also point this out too, because I mentioned something about, but I really wasn't talking shit when I mentioned something about drug usage in that video. I really wasn't talking shit. Really, I was just stating like the actual thing. But I wanted to be clear that, I don't want to ever be like considered like somebody who's okay with talking about someone else's struggles. in a negative way. You know what I mean? Like, I think that is not okay for me. And I just refuse to allow myself to like keep going in that path. If I pick it up at 1 second and then realize, I'm realizing, oh no, that's just not who I am. It's not who I want to be. It's not the type of behavior that I would like to exhibit in my life. And so what I'm trying to say is, we all have some sort of issue, right? And to pretend that we don't is to be a liar and to be a fake and to pretend that you are perfection when you're not, right? Now we have our own idea of what perfection is for us in this moment, but in reality, we all have still something, little or big, small, whatever, it doesn't matter, that we could adjust or we could make better, like we can become better at, right? So I was like thinking about that, and it made me consider, like, well, sometimes we all have issues in some way or another, right? Like, your issue may be sugar, my issue may be cakes, somebody issues maybe, crack. Another person's issue may be alcohol. Another person's issue may be reckless driving, right? Like, we got to understand that there are various different ways in which we as people have destructive patterns, and they don't always look the same, right? Some people's destructive patterns are over control, manipulation, manipulating people so much so because they want to have control, right? And we got to recognize that those are issues too, because sometimes your manipulation of a situation could cause another person to to go ham. Okay, all right. I'm trying to say it in the nicest way possible, but it's necessary for us to recognize that we all have something that we can work on and improve at, and the self, focusing on the self. The reason why I just wanted to talk about having something that we can work on is because focusing on the self is exactly that. Like, it's exactly that. Me saying, "Oh, I said those things." Like, I was, because at the time what I was doing was, what ended up happening on that video was, I got a spiritual download, and the spiritual download was attached to a story that I could share as the example, right? And this is something that Gino gets really irritated with me about, because he feels like I'm talking shit or whatever. But in reality, it's a story. You know what I'm saying? And when you tell a story, it sometimes leads you down a pathway where you have like a, whatever. But I'm gonna try to find a better way to share stories. You know what I mean? But anyway, ultimately, the download that I got, the spiritual download that I got, was attached to that information or to that story, right? And so ultimately, when I kind of looked at it the other day, I just personally was like, that's just not that's not a clear representation of who I am, right? Like, that's not a representation of me, okay? And so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make that change. But in that moment of me saying that's not a representation of me, that is the self, right? That is me in myself making this admission and recognition and acknowledgement of something that I don't feel is becoming. It ain't because nobody else said nothing. Ain't nobody else said shit. I can self-correct myself and be like, I don't really like that, right? Like, I don't want you doing that no more, right? And so that's why when I am saying to you guys to focus on the self, I want you guys to recognize it's not a selfish thing. I mean, it could be considered selfish, fine, but if being selfish means that you are going to improve yourself on a day-to-day basis, if being selfish means that you are going to be elevating who you are, if being selfish means that you are going to take the time to be careful about the things that you say, or careful about the things that you do, careful about how you present yourself in this life, because you care about how you present yourself in this life, then so be it. Fine. Call me selfish. Anyway, the download of this message is that focusing on yourself is, I just heard it. I'm so sorry. I should have went and did this.
See, in order to believe, is it more real than your present circumstances? Seeing in your imagination that right now.
I can't remember what he said, but he said something to the effect of, basically, that's like focusing on God. Like, it's focusing on God. Like, focusing on you is focusing on God. Like, and it's like, It's the process of you becoming the better person that you want and need and should be, right? One of the things that I've always kind of expressed with you guys on this channel is character. Character is super important, right? Because at the end of the day, your beauty may fade. At the end of the day, um, we all might get a gray hair or get some wrinkles, or we may have, a bad day where our attitude was shit, right? At the end of the day, one day we are all potentially, because I do believe that there are some people that have not died yet, but you might die, right? At the end of the day, you got to look at yourself in the mirror, and I've got to look at myself in the mirror every day. And while it's cute to be fun and likable and popular and all this stuff like that, to me, those things they're not as important to me as me knowing that I've done my due diligence to be an upstanding person. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't wanna like sound redundant by saying a good person, right? Because in reality, you can get these hands if you know what I mean, whether I'm a good person or not, you can get these hands if you on the wrong side, if you on the wrong side of justice, right? Like no matter what the case of the situation, you can get these hands, right? So I don't want you guys to misconstrue or get it confused. Like, being a good person doesn't mean that I will not throw these hands if I got to. It does mean, however, though, that I'm going to take the time to treat people well, that I'm going to take the time to speak as much life as I can speak, speak well as I can speak, to say as many kind words as I can say and speak while I'm here, to give as often and as much as I can give while I'm here, to, model the type of behavior that I would want to teach my children, right? And so it's not, like I said, it's not about being a good person, because in reality, I can still be a good person, but if you wrong me and I got to throw these hands, that's what it is, right? If it comes down to it and you try to kill me and I kill you first, that don't make me not a good person, in my opinion, because you tried to kill me and I had to get you first, okay? So what are we doing here? What I feel is that we need to look more at the laws of kind of Ma'at, basically, the laws of Ma'at, okay? And if we go based on the laws of Ma'at, I think that really lets us know that it's more about justice, balance, peace, truth, honesty, things of that nature. But we got to be clear that one of the commandments was speak not the name of the Lord in vain, right? And what does that mean? That means to not speak your name in vain. That means not to speak down on yourself or speak down on the Lord or speak down or speak ill of the Lord. I also believe that can be coupled with caring for the self as well. If you're supposed to speak highly of yourself, if you're supposed to speak highly of the Lord, then you must also care for yourself in that way. Therefore, the self-preservation of life, right? The self-preservation is one of the rules of life. Therefore, you are here and you have every right to be here, just like everyone else has a right to be here, right? And I think it's important for us to have more respect for the value of life. In addition to having respect for the value of life, we should have respect for the value of other people, their feelings, their boundaries, etc. Right? Like, all of that kind of goes in there, because you never know really what's triggering somebody and what's upsetting someone else. So the only thing you can do from your standpoint is to do your best, right, at doing and being good to others as you are to yourself, right? Do unto others as you would have them do to you, now has a new meaning to me right now. Literally in this moment, it has a new meaning. Now it means, obviously, you want to treat people how you want to be treated, but that's also because in reality, how should you and how do you want to treat yourself, right? You should ultimately want to treat yourself in the highest way. right? We always do this thing in life sometimes where we treat other people so good because we want them, in hopes that they will reciprocate that and treat us well as well. But we got to maybe start thinking about that. Well, what if you treat yourself well too, or first, right? I think that if we're able to see that and that balance, see the balance of caring for the self as being a really important thing, it would eliminate a lot of issues. It would eliminate a lot of issues. It will eliminate a lot of issues with women who are in relationships with men out of desperation, or being caught up in terrible relationships or connections with men out of desperation, right? Which then leads them to jealousy, which then could lead them down the road, down the path of doing messed up shit like going to a beauty salon and throwing acid on a beautiful woman just because the guy that you was with lied to her and you and went and had, was with her, right? Or because you thought that it was with David Davis together. Who knows? Maybe they was doing a business deal. Maybe she was the wedding planner and you just went and fucked your whole wedding up, right? Like, you never know. But anyway, what I'm trying to basically say is that, when we're able to focus more on ourselves, and this is the download of the day, is about focusing on the self. I feel like we can do a lot better job of having personal growth, having healing. Because when we're able to take the time to focus on ourselves, we can assess ourselves, we can analyze ourselves and determine what things we like, we don't like, the things that are bothering us, the thing that really, really, really is ticking you off every day, but you keep not saying nothing about it because you don't want to be seen. You don't want to be called the the angry black woman or the angry black man, right? Like, a lot of times we edit ourselves to please the outside world, who are often not even going to be in our experience very long anyway, right? And while I understand that there's a time and a place and all that, I do also know that for the majority of the time, there are ways in which we can express ourselves to other people in a way that's not going to turn into a big issue or a big thing, right? Now, that's not all the time, because some people, they're going to push your buttons on purpose. And you got to get in their face a little bit, okay? You got to cuss their ass straight the fuck out, and you need to leave them where they standing at too. So, but that all just depends on the situation. That's not every situation. But sometimes oftentimes, a lot of times we could be editing ourselves when we do not need to be editing ourselves. And by editing ourselves, we are suppressing ourselves. And by suppressing ourselves, we are burying down our own feelings, which then sends a signal to the body or to the brain or to the self that I'm not important enough to not harm myself in this way, because suppression becomes harmful, especially when it turns into a mental issue, or especially when it turns into where now you are on the brink, okay? And you on the brink of somebody about to get these hands this week. Let anybody say anything. You know what it's like when you've been feeling like you've been dealing with a lot. And listen, anybody say anything to me and you gonna get this work. You know what that's about. You know what I mean? You know what it's like when you've had it, and because you know why though? Because I believe that has a lot to do with suppression and not saying, okay, that right there, what you're doing right there, unacceptable. Please don't do it. Right? For probably for the reasons of not wanting to seem like a nag, or like you a problem. You always got a problem. Listen, bitch, if you're making me uncomfortable, stop making me uncomfortable. And I'm gonna say that now, right? But also, I mean, I get it, and I do understand that we have those desires to edit ourselves to be socially acceptable, right? And that's really where it stems from. I want to be fit in. I want to fit in with other people. I want to be socially acceptable. I want to, I don't want to be outcasted, or I don't want to be of the black sheep list, or I don't want to be the oddball out, right? That a lot of people make decisions based on that, okay? And I think that's got to stop, because let me tell you something. There's a lot of people out here sliding down the goddamn wall because they're trying to fit in, and because they are trying to not be the black ball, or they're not trying to be the angry black woman, or whatever the fuck the reason is, right? The self-care is so important. And we have put other people who, like I said, may or may not ever be in our experience again. We have put their feelings, we have put their, the need to want to please them in one other way on a pedestal before we put our own self there. And that can cause problems with the self, feeling like you're worthy of being treated correctly, feeling like you're worthy of being respected, feeling like you're worthy of, that like your boundaries are not too much, right? Like all of these little tiny feelings, like I feel like uncomfortable with setting my boundaries because, it's going to make me sound like, listen, honey, let me tell you something right now. Like I said before, many of the people that you come across, you ain't never going to see them again. Okay. There are a lot of people that they are NPCs. Okay. That's what my kids call them. Okay. Non-important players. I don't think that's what calls out. NPCs or oh, somebody help me. What is it? Look at me, look at shit. Like, whoa, somebody help me. Look, listen. Them primary characters, honey, that there's a lot of them going around, them little NPCs, baby. Let me tell you something. And they may be the cutest little NPC ever, but you're still an NPC, bitch. And let me tell you right now, and I'm not going to tell you that, everything that you say doesn't have to be an argument or mean or rude. You can speak to people and tell them that they are pushing your boundaries in a very, cordial way, okay? And in a way in which you can continue to move forward. But it is important for us to take that notation that self-care goes just that deep too. As deep as saying to someone, that hurts my feelings, or that bothers me, that makes me feel uncomfortable, right? And I think as women, we have a difficulty saying that, especially when it involves men, is telling them that what they're doing is uncomfortable because you're giving creep vibes. You're giving, I'm going to find my pepper spray in a matter of 5 seconds if you don't get your shit together right now, okay? But the reality is that when we fail to self-care in those moments, we sometimes, as a result of that failing to self-care, we are failing also to protect the self. And sometimes in those moments, we are also failing to love on the self, right? And I know it sounds crazy. It's like that doesn't mean that, but in reality, what signal are you sending to yourself when you push your feelings down in order for everybody else to feel good and comfortable? What are you telling the self? You're telling the self that everyone else's needs are more important than your own. And that cannot be the case ever. I'm not saying not to take care of people that you love. That's not what I'm saying at all. You can still be comfortable and make other people comfortable. But it is important that when they are causing you discomfort, that they should know that is causing me discomfort. Because it is okay for you to feel comfortable while also making others feel comfortable. It's okay for you to feel loved, safe, secure, happy, while also ensuring that others have those same things from your hands as well. And this is something that we as women, we do not address very well. We don't do this very good all the time. I won't say everybody. I'm not saying everybody, obviously, but because we have this caring nature, caring, nurturing nature, right? And that's a beautiful thing. But it's also important to protect that as well, even if you have to protect it from the person who should be protecting you from, from those types of crossing of the boundaries. So I guess that was an important message to share, because I did get a message about self-care, and self-care being very important, the most important thing, right? Yeah. And it's so interesting, right? Because we can sit here and we can think about like how men go about their lives, which is why the men are appalled right now with women. They are so appalled with women right now because women are just like, nope, not doing it, not interested in doing that part of the life. Not interested in doing it, not interested in putting your needs above my own. Thank you so much. And they're having a difficulty with that because we have, we ain't been acting like this for a long time. All right, wait a minute, y'all ain't been acting like this. What's going on now? Well, what's going on now is that, listen, I ain't about to be sliding on no wall for you to still be out there having a good time doing whatever the fuck you dig dancing everywhere else, right? Like, hey, goddammit, we're gonna have to set some boundaries here. I just want to share that message with you, and I hope that you received it. I hope that it was beneficial and helpful to you. Let's go ahead and move on with some tarot. Let's see here. So we do have a Two of Pentacles here. Two of Pentacles is about the balance of everything. Queen of Swords is showing itself to me right now. We got a Six of Cups and a Ten of Pentacles. I feel like the Ten of Pentacles is about the family, and maybe to some degree I have kind of channeled some of these cards in the message that I was just sharing with you guys as well. The Six of Cups is here as well, where it's some past energy, some past love or caring, or somebody nostalgic about something. Maybe this is you reminiscent about family moments. This could also be reminiscent about a friend, because it's in this card, that's what represented by the Six of Cups is two friends. In this card, the Hermit card is here representing knowledge and wisdom and awakening as well. The Queen of Swords is also showing me that, sometimes it's necessary to cut things out. Okay. The doctors try to cut the cancer out. When you got like a apple and you cut the bad part off, if it's just a little tiny, if it's just a little tiny spot, you just cut that off and throw it in the trash, right? If a tree is rotted, you cut that rotted branch off and you let the rest of the tree continue to grow. That's kind of, I guess, a thing, right? So I see the Queen of Swords is here. The Queen of Swords is giving that come on this way, motherfucker, so I can see if I need to cut the shit out of you. I'm gonna cut your ass off, right? And I get that. So yeah, I feel like somebody is standing their ground here. I do feel like there is an energy of nostalgia. Interestingly enough, I am feeling like the Hermit card is bringing about like a like a quiet time, maybe like a ghosting type of situation, or even like taking walking off quietly or silently or something of that nature. And the Queen of Swords is really looking directly at the Hermit. Look at this, is how they're looking. And her hand is there, kind of like, come on this way. Let me see what you got to say. And I got my sword over here because I need to flash your ass. Now come on through. Look at her. She got her hand out and she got that sword in her hand, like, come over here with the bullshit if you want to, okay? Because we're going to take care of you, okay? And so that's the importance as well about that balance too, because, the Queen of Swords, she's fair. She is. She's fair, but she's firm. That's why she got the sword held up in one hand, but she's also got an open hand as well. So I got an open hand, but I also have a sword hand as well. So you just choose whichever hand you want. Okay, that's up to you. All right. Oftentimes, the swords can represent a sense of justice and a sense of, now I'm looking at these two with the Two of Pentacles, and it's representing a sense of balancing out, just kind of balancing things out. So I do feel as though this is very much giving me the concept of kind of like a balancing of the scales. It seems like the Justice card, it feels very Justice cardy, but the Justice card is not here. It's not showing itself to me at all right now. So I'm not going to say Justice card because it's not here, but it feels very much like the Justice card has a presence in this reading. So, sometimes the Justice card can represent, it could represent like a separation, or even like a marriage, or like a court situation. It can also represent karma. Sometimes I look at it like that. But balancing of the scales is the real answer that I'm really getting here. And I do feel that this is in relation to like a past connection, a past life situation, or even the Hermit card is really giving off that Gandalf from Lord of the Rings, also giving off that. But you know, Gandalf was very much like a righteous individual, right? Like, I'm really feeling energy of righteousness here. Fair but firm, okay? Fair but firm and balanced. Fair but firm and balanced wisdom. Fair, firm, balanced wisdom. Honesty, justice, truth, right? Like I'm getting all of those energies here coming with these cards. So I want to get like an overall, what does this mean, Aqua? Okay, so let's go ahead and shuffle real quick. And let's find out, like, ultimately, what does this all mean, Spirit? Please share. Okay. Judgment is here, and the Seven of Pentacles. I feel like there is someone who is, and I want to say this the right way. The Seven of the Seven of Pentacles talks about setting up a foundation or setting a foundation. This can also talk about planting seeds, growing a garden type of vibe. The Judgment card talks about a decision or an answered prayer. So what I feel that the Seven of Pentacles and the Judgment card are saying, I feel like somebody's deciding to like lay the foundation, lay the groundwork and lay the foundation. It's like they've decided to potentially stand in power and their power. The Moon card. So we have the Hermit here twice. And we also have Surrender here at the bottom of the deck. Yeah. It could be a thing of somebody waiting for someone to surrender here as well. That could be going on. I'm feeling like that might be it. Just my hand over here shaking. Look at that. Hand over here. Like it could be. It's looking like a, yeah, I feel like somebody is surrender. That's what I'm getting here. Well, we got the Four of Wands here too underneath that, and that's at the bottom of the deck too. So now looking at this in the opposite direction, I can also see that it looks like somebody might have like gone into an engagement or situation and dealt with a sense of betrayal, like dealt with some betrayal there, you know? Yeah, there's that. So, I feel like somebody has made a decision to like set roots or ground or set a foundation in a certain, in a third party situation, right? They've set roots or grounded something in a third party situation. Okay. All right, let's pull some more cards here and find out what this is sending us to, because we need to know. The Justice card comes out. There it is. Justice card is here. Finally, the Justice card shows itself. So there is a separation. There is a separation here. This could have been an engagement. There's a separation, an engaged couple, or maybe this might be a married couple, but I don't know if it's married couple, are separated, for sure. Yeah. So the Knight in shining armor is communicating something. So anyway, there's a knight who wants to communicate something, potentially love, the stress and burden of walking away. So this person may have had stress and burden walking away from something. Some truth is going to come out. And I believe that this truth does carry the idea that there has been some depression, there has been some down energy as a result of, what somebody might be dealing with. Somebody might be dealing with a stressful situation. Setting a foundation with somebody it could be a lot. Maybe, I don't know, like maybe this person is, I'm feeling like deep down this person isn't really happy here. And the reason why is because of the yeah, look at that. There's some more stuff coming out. So the reason why is because the Nine of Swords is here, and the Nine of Swords talks about depression and like sadness, like sleepless nights, insomnia type of vibes. And then also we have the Three of Swords is here too. So there is some heartbreak here in a situation. I really want to know what the relevance of this all coming out is to this reading and or to whatever the message might be. So I'm going to go ahead and let's get some message cards, I guess, because otherwise I'm kind of at a loss in what this is all about because it seems very fragmented. It doesn't very much seem like one story. It seems very fragmented, like lots of like pieces of different puzzles. And who's got time for that shit? Okay. All right, Spirit. Let's find out. Moving on. Okay. Gentle. Codependency. Okay. So moving on says, I feel like we both need to go our separate ways for a while. So there is somebody in some sort of situation that is asking for a separation in potentially a marriage or like an engagement. This could be an engagement or a marriage. There is a third party energy present in this situation. Or I feel as though this could also be that someone has set roots with a third party as well. So just kind of take it as it resonates for you because, like I said, this is like a fragmented story. It's like a lot of fragments in this situation here. Anyway, there is some communication coming in. There may be communication of love from someone, or somebody might communicate emotionally to someone. And I do think also it may be some travel involved. It may be some stress involved, or this person has been feeling stressed, which is why this message is, I guess, coming through or needing to come through. I feel like somebody's going to be truthful. Like, I feel like somebody's going to come out and be truthful about something, about maybe either the foundation that they set up, the third party foundation they set up, or even about just, this might be a situation where someone expresses to you that they want to have a foundation with you. Like, keep that in mind. That might be something that may be coming out as well. The Nine of Swords is giving me that this person has been just not happy without you. This person potentially has been depressed or sad or something like that without you around. And so you're going to find that out. That's what's going to come out of this whole thing. Okay. Let's see what else we've got here. The Queen of Pentacles as well as the Three of Cups. So this is also, Three of Cups is here, very interestingly bringing itself out after seeing, I thought I saw the Three of Swords somewhere, which is, and then I see the Moon card here. So there's definitely a third party situation going on with this little situation. I don't particularly feel your energy though, by the way. So it feels like this could be like a polyamorous type of vibe, or like a polyamorous situation, or an open relationship or something like that, or at least it seems to operate in such that manner, right? We also have the Queen of Pentacles here as well as the Three of Swords. Yeah, so the Three of Swords is here because the heartbreak is here. So it seems like there's some sort of heartbreak related to this polyamorous or this whatever this is. This is like, a Three Sisters vibe or some shit. I want to reinterpret that. I want to reread that part right there. I'm going to come back to that. Let's go over here. Gentle says, I'm staying away from you because the last thing that I want to do is hurt you. Okay. Codependency says, I need you. So, ooh, chat. All that. So, no, it's just too much. Okay. What else is here? So I want to find out something about what the hell is going on over here, because this whole little situation is a little messy. And anger. I'm upset and need some time to cool down. Mountain says something or someone is standing in between us right now. Okay. No strings. I want you close, but I'm not ready for commitment. Don't go. Don't give up on me yet. I'm scared to lose you. So that's interesting that there was a no strings card that came out, and then crossing also came the don't go card. So I feel like what we're looking at here is we're looking at somebody who, it's like their mouth is saying all of the things about not committing and not being able to commit and everything. But something in the energy is very much like, don't go. So what is this? Is this about the codependency? Is that what this is? All right. I want to find out, Spirit, tell me about this 3 of Cups and 3 of Swords energy. Money. I am seeing the Queen of Pentacles there. So it's about money and stability, because poverty just came out here with the 5 of Pentacles. Also, we're dealing with, what we're looking at here is, yeah, that's about it. The Queen of Pentacles is here again. So 2 Queen of Pentacles, I see. So that's what we're dealing with here. So this is somebody who's dealing with multiple women. There's a young child and there's a high priestess. Okay. 2 women, 2 Queen of Pentacles, a high priestess, and a child. Five of Wands, chaos, fighting. 4 of Cups, disappointment, dismay, dissatisfaction. The Hangman, stuck, not moving around. King of Cups, moody. 6 of Cups, missing you. So now we've got the 6 of Cups and a King of Cups here twice. We also have the Hermit here twice. I feel like the story is repeating itself now. So I feel like what's happening here is a repeated story. I do feel like there are 2 Queen of Pentacles here. There's a heartbreak and an abandonment, or like a desire to not like be abandoned or walked away from or whatever. Somebody's like poor or homeless or something like that, right? Like that's their thing. And so this being the case, it's like, this is why there's two of these Queen of Pentacles here. This is why those 2 are there, right? The Queen of Pentacles are there so that this homelessness is not the case, right? That's what's going on there. We also have the 3 of Swords and the 3 of Cups. The 3 of Swords and the 3 of Cups are really giving that this is still, there's still heartbreak introduced into this situation. So there's some sort of heartbreak here. So somebody's hurt. Somebody's hurting. Oh. Now, the 6 of Cups is also here, letting me know, I feel the 6 of Cups followed by the King of Cups followed by the 6 of Cups is letting me know that this person is very moody because they miss you. So this person might be like snappy, and like that could be the case. Like this person could be really snappy at these 2 Queen of Pentacles. They could be really snappy at these 2 Queen of Pentacles. They could be really like frustrated with them, or like just kind of like annoyed a lot. We have the Hangman here too. And the Hangman with the 4 of Cups, it's like nothing you ever do is good enough. It's like you are disappointment to my existence. That's kind of the energy that I'm getting with the 4 of Cups anyway. With the Hangman, it's more just like feeling stuck, stagnated, not moving forward on anything. I do feel like something is just Like somebody's just like never ending annoyance, and they're also dissatisfied and disappointed type of vibe. Now, this is bringing in a lot of Five of Wands energy. It's bringing in a lot of chaos because of that. Well, obviously that hurts somebody's feelings. Somebody's feelings are hurt when you treat me like I'm not enough, or like when you treat me like I'm not doing what's right. You know what I mean? Like when you treat me like I can't never do right. That's what's happening here. So somebody's feelings is getting hurt by that. I got a sorry, not a queen of pentacles. I got a high priestess here. And a high priestess is knowing everything. It's like she sees through the crystal ball. Even though there's chaos, she can see through the chaos. That's what I feel. I feel like the high priestess can see through the chaos. So it's like, so for instance, sometimes, you know, when certain people get upset, it's like, I know exactly why you're upset. I know what your problem is, even though I'm not going to let you know that I know, because the reality is you need to know how to speak. Like you got to open your mouth, and I'm not going to read your fucking mind. Okay. All right. So anyway, there's that. And then we have the Sun card also. So the Sun card to me is representing this tiny baby, or this small baby, but it does also represent the high priestess being kind of happy as well. I'm also getting the feeling that maybe when the high priestess, or if the high priestess is happy, it causes someone else's conflict. Like it causes, like if I'm happy on a day-to-day basis, you know that person over there is just upset about me being happy. It's like, you just, for what? Like I didn't do nothing to you. If you're not happy, that's a personal decision. That's personal choice, right? But anyway, that's kind of the vibe I'm getting just a little bit here. Somebody's just kind of, they're having a lot of internal conflict. You know what I mean? They're just probably unhappy with themselves and with their own life, and that's probably why this person is acting like, oh, you can't do it. Like you're not doing it right. You don't do it the right way. You didn't do it right this time. Like, well, do it your damn self, honestly, because you know, if you got rules on how you want me to do this, then you can just do it yourself. Okay. That's what's going on. Somebody said, fuck out of here with that shit. Like somebody was like, fuck out of here with that shit, nigga. That's hilarious. That is so hilarious. Okay. That's why, like, fuck out of here. You better do it your damn self then, motherfucker. Oh man, that's funny. That's funny. Okay. I'm sorry. The Queen of Cups is also here with the High Priest. I'm sorry, with the Empress. The Empress finally comes out. New beginnings are coming. Somebody wants to nurture a new beginning, but yeah, they want to nurture a new beginning with the past, or with something or someone of the past. Yeah. I feel like somebody's taking away from somebody, though. You know, it's like, I feel like somebody's taking away from somebody. I'm gonna leave it there for just a moment while I mull on that thought. These were like this. These were showing up like this. They were back to back, right? I feel like somebody is taking away from someone else's abundance. And yes, that could be via magic. But the gag is, the moment that you revoke permission, it no longer applies. So I call back all of my energy that belongs to me, rightfully mine, cleansed, purified, cleaned, returned to me for my use, for me to use for my abundance and for my success and for my ability to manifest beautiful things in this life. And I send back all energy that does not belong to me, that has been sent my way. I send it back to its rightful owners. You know, you could say something like that, right? Okay. Let's see what else we got here. The Nine of Pentacles. I feel like somebody is apprehensive or intimidated about somebody. And I was just shown the star card here at the bottom of the deck. But I want to show you this, how it's like appearing. Look at how he's looking up in that direction towards her. Anyway, when I saw him, he just kind of looks intimidated. She's abundant. She's Nine of Pentacles. She's mature and she's abundant. And I do think that someone is hesitant because of that. The star card is here, Aquarian energy. This can also be representing someone who's creative, who's healing. This can also represent somebody who's open and free as well. Someone who can't care too much about, you know, everybody else's wishes for what she should do, right? Hell, she's out there fucking naked. Yeah, she ain't give two dams. This is somebody who's authentic. She's open. That's why. That's why. She's open. That's what the nakedness is representing. Authentic, open. Someone who's just, I'm not going to shield and be what I'm not because you think I should be. Who the fuck are you? This is my earth too, bitch. Go find your own place to go find your own place to spew all your goddamn disappointments. That's real shit. Take your disappointments somewhere else, okay? I feel like this is somebody who's very much kind of like I do my own, doing their own thing. This is somebody who's very clear with doing their own thing. This person could have a lot of either discipline or loyalty. The strength card is here too. So we got Aquarius and we got Leo here now. This is very much like there's a lot of loyalty, but also Tammy the Lion just came to me. So yeah, I feel like there is somebody who is very much apprehensive and very hesitant to like move towards this person. And the hesitation has a lot to do with the brokenness, maybe. This person could also just be young and kind of stupid. Not stupid as in, okay. Let me just rephrase that. This person is just young, okay? And young, and you know, young and stupid. I'm saying young and stupid, you know, even young and stupid kind of thing. But, you know, this person is just kind of young. And it could be that this person is young, you know, kind of young in maturity, right? And that could be the reason for this here. But let's find out more about this little situation over here. The Nine of Cups and the World card represents success and fulfillment. And we also got victory here too. So there's victory, success, and fulfillment over here for the Ten of Cups and the Eight of Pentacles. So like if you work at what you need to work at, then you got, you know, you have the opportunity to have what you need and what you want. I feel like somebody basically just needs to know that, you know, if you're willing to put in the work, you know, and not trap yourself in your own demons, you know, because that's kind of what it looks like you might be doing, is trapping yourself in your own demons. You know, you might be able to, you know, have that little victory here, because it's a victory over here for sure. it's a victory, success, and fulfillment. I mean, it's kind of like a wop bam boom type vibe as far as how well things could work out if you want. Now, I just want to be clear that, you know, sometimes I don't know that this is about a younger person, somebody that's younger than you is given somebody that's younger than you. But I don't know if they are younger than you or if this is their mental space. If their mental space is younger, right? Like if they're mentally just, you know, young and shit, young and dumb, you know. So somebody needs some maturity. You know, you do need to mature. You do need to kind of work on that or whatever. But I also feel like there's still victory here in some way over here with this little situation here. So I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, Knight of Pentacles lets it be known that there is a plan for a new beginning, a plan for success and a plan for a new beginning. Somebody might be starting a business too. It's going to be abundant. It's going to work out well. It's going to be good. Waiting for your ships to come in, but I feel like there's no waiting for your ships to come in. You got to get them. Like you got to me, what I'm picking up is more like it's like you gotta put in the work. You gotta make that happen. You know. Yeah, put in the work. You know, it's about definitely putting in the work. You gotta put in the work. Ooh, child. Ten of Pentacles is here. And also the Four of, what is this? The Four of Pentacles too. So holding back. Holding back. Three of Pentacles. To learn. To work together. Somebody's not, it's like, okay, so what I'm saying here is somebody is choosing not to like work something out or work together with someone, although you could, and that would be a fortunate thing to do. It would be a fortunate thing to do because the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah. Oh, sure. So many messages in so many various ways. And I feel like this, like I said, I feel like this is like a very fragmented reading. It's kind of like all over the place, but not at the same time. It is, but it isn't. The Knight of Cups. The Knight of Swords. I feel like somebody's coming back towards you. You know, they are coming back towards you. With a new offer of love, I feel like this person is stepping into their power. And I do feel like this person is coming. Definitely coming towards you. My concern though is that this person might be dealing with a little bit of pain too. So, you know, just keep that in mind. I see this person could be potentially though trying to work on themselves too. So, you know, they might be successful with that and victorious with that. So yeah, just keep that in mind. All right, I'm going to clean up some of these cards and then I'm just going to get like a final message to kind of wrap up whatever the hell was trying to be said in this message, okay? Because I'm not getting a lot of clear vibes. But I also didn't have a question either, so I guess I'm not gonna complain about it. All right, Spirit, what is the ultimate message and the ultimate vibe you want me to share with the collective? Nine of Wands says stand your ground. The Death card says, the Death card followed by the Ten of Swords says, there could be something going on, okay? There could be a death or rebirth situation here. Be cautious. I feel like be cautious is the word, the term, the right thing here. Be cautious. Three of Wands, Ten of Cups, King of Wands. We have a Three of Wands, a Ten of Cups, and a King of Wands here. Just one second. Let me go. Okay, sorry about that. We got the Three of Wands with the Ten of Cups and the King of Wands. I feel like somebody's waiting for love. I don't know what that's about, but it's here. I do feel like somebody needs to be cautious. The World. Mm-hmm. All right, I feel like somebody should be doing some sort of reversal here, some sort of magical reversing, because what I feel is there could be some sort of death magic going on right now. So be careful, be mindful, and also be aware kind of your surroundings. You know, I keep getting this Three of Cups here, so it's three people involved. It's a three sisters type of vibe, but it doesn't have to be three sisters. It could be three. It's just three people. It could just be three people. So you need to look and you need to be aware of that. I feel like the greatest message that I could give right now is, even if I'm sitting here and I'm giving you a message that says that there is some sort of, woo woo going on out there, it is so important to remember that your vibes and keeping yourself in high vibes is so key. And also, it's so important not to let your mind go down in the gutter where you like manifest these things. So for me, the message is your victory, your success, and your fulfillment in love, it comes when you allow yourself to have fulfillment in love. However, when you allow yourself to maintain this idea and this concept that there's somebody out there that's more powerful than you, to, and about you, that's harmful thinking for the self. Like, you're the only one that's with you 24. You're the only one that when you go in the mirror, you look, you see yourself. Like nobody else is there with you most times, right? So this concept that like some other body or some other energy has more control over what's occurring in your life is a part of the spell. There may be circumstances around you, there may be situations that occur, there may be things that go down around you that make you feel a way, but you can always change the way in which you feel. Obviously, something that's happening in your physical life, that's a different story, right? Like that's a physical thing. And that's why you protect yourself, right? But I feel like this is, first off, there is a magical element here. But one of the most important things about magical and magical elements is what you allow to continue to go down in your mind. That's really important. The emperor steps in his own power, and that's just really what you have to do. You know, this message is coming down to stepping in your own power, knowing your own power, and nurturing that. I feel like this is about time here. It's an illusion. It is an illusion. Hmm. I will say this, protect yourself, right? As it relates to, in whatever ways you can protect yourself, always protect yourself. But one of the greatest ways in which you can protect yourself is your mind, and not allowing your mind to build up uh, fear stories. You know what I mean? Like, don't let yourself get too caught in your fears and your stories and your mind that you can make up. You know what I mean? Um, that's what I'm seeing. And if there's anything in relation to magic that's going on here, it could be reversed. So that's one of the reasons why I feel that you should consider thinking you should consider what I'm saying as far as how you're thinking, because one of the things that I always know is like, let's just say if I'm like really wanting to know or really wanting to learn how to fix something, right? Usually what'll happen is I'll like, oh man, I want to know this or that or whatever, and then that thing will come into my experience. So the same thing for you. If you focus on, okay, well, how do I protect myself, or how do I do this, or how do I do that? That thing can come into your experience very quickly. And before you know it, you're down that path, focusing on that thing, and you've learned how to unwind all sorts of things that you think that you think you have no control and no power over. The point that I'm trying to make is there are always solutions for you. You do, though, have to find them. Okay. I see the elements of magic here, and I see the potential in which the magic can grow too. But what I also see is a fire and a passion in you, symbolized by that little fire he's holding in his hand. You see that? I see a little fire that you've got in there too, and so, hey, listen, uh, that's when it becomes, I want to say street fight. I want to say a little street fight, but I'm not, that I don't think that's going to occur. But, what I really feel more so, what I'm trying to say here is live your life, you know, there are things that are going on around you. There are things that could occur, that could happen. But should you spend all of your time worrying about those things? Absolutely not. You should be spending your time enjoying the moments that you have, the people that you have, the people that you love. That's what you should be spending your time doing. Doing things that you love doing, learning new things, growing fruits and vegetables, falling in love, finding success, starting new businesses. Like there's so many things that we could be focused on and doing. And I think that it's better, your time is better spent focusing on those things than trying to figure out the moment that you'll die. That doesn't make sense because oftentimes, even when you're about to die, we're always shocked. It's crazy, isn't it? Like even when you're dying, you're shocked you're dying, so let's just stop trying to determine when we're going to die and start thinking about how we're going to live, how we're going to live while we're living and continue to live. Now, like I said, that doesn't mean to not protect yourself, obviously, but it does mean, like, don't let your mind go down the rabbit hole of fear of, oh my God, this is going to happen and da 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 da. You know, try to keep yourself in high vibes as much as you can. Okay. I do feel like somebody got injured, or there's somebody that's injured or got injured. Let me see here. This is interesting because the other day I was talking about something like this about somebody throwing around death spells, and then it coming back to them and hitting them. I did talk about that not too long ago. And, you know, I think the interesting part about it though, I think some people are really interesting in the way that they're like, so first off, there are some people that are like upset or get upset about the smallest things, and then they do some things that's really spiteful or really really mean or whatever, um, similar to people who kill other people for stepping on shoes, like silly shit, right? But then when they get a piece of their own medicine, it's like they don't understand that that's what's happening. It's like they don't understand that you're just getting back what you put out. And so then they get mad again, you know? Okay. Could be dealing with something like that. This person is okay. So this is very interesting because I feel like what I'm looking at now is this person has the sun card on top, but deep down this person is impoverished, and deep down this person is in chaos and conflict. I don't know who that is, so let's see. This could be a water sign, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, the person that's feeling like that. Let's see. This could be somebody that's extremely defensive and just kind of, yeah, just really defensive. You know, I want to tell you something. And I think with that, I'm going to end this reading, okay? Recently, I started to think about how there have been so many changes that we've had on this channel, so many topics that we've talked about. And as I have gone through this spiritual journey and kind of, gone through the ups and downs of life and spiritual journey and everything, I kind of was coming to this kind of space for myself where it's like, I feel like for a little bit we stopped healing. And earlier in this video, I did mention how sometimes you may take 5 steps forward and then take 2 steps back, and then 5 steps forward and then 2 steps back, and then that kind of pattern that may happen in life and that ebb and flow of life. The thing is, just make sure that you get back on it. You know what I mean? Like, you just got to make sure at some point that you get back to it and that you get back on it. And that is just a really special and very important thing to do. The world has a lot of enough toxicity, the world has enough chaos and conflict and things of that nature going on. I think that one of the things that we may have discovered is how much we all impact each other, whether we like to admit it or not, whether we like to say it or not, think it or not. We do all impact each other, because I've been watching the patterns of like the collective audiences across various different like industries, subsets, patterns, and everything. And I noticed that, yeah, we fall into trends as people. This is not just me and you. This is just like people in general. You fall into trends, or you fall into mindsets as a group of people. People fall into mindsets and thought processes where they all start thinking exactly the same. And I've been saying this group think. I've been saying group think for a while now. Group think, group think. I was saying that for a little while. Like, we got to get out of this group think, right? And so, yeah, we do impact each other more than we think. We are more connected than we know. And so this is one of the reasons why whenever we have a moment that we can self-correct, then we should. Because one of the things that I've been seeing is it seems like it may not impact anything, but in reality, it's just a microcosm that can create a major shift on somewhere else. It's just a tiny atom of energy that can make a change somewhere else, a microcosm or a big shift in some other direction. And I think that we have to be better about recognizing that, right? Myself included. And I want you guys to know that whenever I talk about stuff, I'm talking about myself too. Okay. Oh yes, this is very nice. Thank you. That's going to work exactly what I need to do. First and foremost, I just want you guys to know that I appreciate everything that we've been doing on this channel. Everything that we've been doing on this channel has been an uncovering of how things are going in life. And sometimes it doesn't seem like it, but when you start looking around at life and you start looking around at how things are occurring, you recognize that these patterns they impact us all. That includes the planetary alignments, that includes the moon cycle, that, you know, that all of those things impact how things are happening down here for us on this earth, or up in this earth. I don't know. Like, so many things that are changing in the collective knowledge, scope of knowledge. But, you know, take care of yourself, you know, take good care of yourself. Know that it is important, and your self-care is super important. Okay. Alrighty, guys. So I just wanted to share that with y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, hit the bell so you get notifications when I upload new videos, and smash the like button. And I will see y'all in the next one. Okay.